I want to share a few things with you. We're getting ready for a lot of things, as many churches are during this Thanksgiving season. It is a time to give thanks, a time to remember all that God has done for us, to us, with us, and through us, and even in spite of us. It's a really good thing to give thanks. We're going to be gathering together, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, to hang the greens, prepare the church sanctuary for our Christmas and Advent celebrations. We're also looking at some different kind of ministries. We were talking with the Gulf Bend Wellness Center about sponsoring a meal for the residents at the Wellness Center. And that was going to be carried out this weekend, but unfortunately some cases in COVID broke out among the residents and we'll not be able to do that, but we'll be looking to do that in the very near future. We're also looking at helping folks who really don't have the means to provide some of the basic necessities of life, namely food. We're going to do what's being called a reverse Advent. We're going to be, during the month of December, collecting items of food. We've designated an item of food per day. Don't have to adhere to that slavishly, but just kind of a guideline to share with the folks through Victoria Christian Assistance Ministry, known as VCAM. During the month of January, we're informed that during Advent and Christmas season, a lot of folks respond to the needs at VCAM. And so the greater need is for the month of January. And so we'll be collecting food all throughout the month of December in order to share with the folks in January. So if you live in the Victoria area and you'd like to participate with us in that, you could bring your food by John Wesley United Methodist Church at 8300 Northeast Sacklands Parkway. We're right next to the Social Security Administration building. You'd be welcome to participate with us in that and help folks to do that, get those basic foodstuffs for their life. That's one way we have of giving thanks, is giving back, paying it forward, if you will. And so we'd enjoy meeting you and sharing that with you just to help folks out.
The other day I was thinking, I'm not going to turn the television on anymore because everything I see on the television is either irritating or depressing. So I sat there and I thought, okay, I'm going to think back on the times of my life and how did that go? And the first thing I realized was that every bad time in my life was followed by a great time in my life. And of course, through all the years, God was totally involved. And I was beginning to feel really great. And then I thought, okay, what if all of you did the same thing? What if you thought back over your life and you saw how God was involved all the way? We've all had bad patches. Some of us have had really, really bad patches. Some of them were things that just happened. Some of them were our own fault. But you'll see when you review all that, how God was involved in getting you out of the bad patches, even into the great patches. So you go back over your life and you look at all of that, and what you come up with is stories. Stories about God and how He interfaces with us. And I got to thinking, okay, what are you going to do with those stories? Well, one thing you're going to do with those stories is help other people. You got a friend who's going through a bad patch, and you can relate with some of the bad patches that you got out of to encourage him to know that he's going to get out of them too. But maybe there's even a bigger thing to do with your stories. Have you ever tried to encourage a non-Christian to really get into what you're into? And some of them, you know, are very polite and they say, oh yeah, that's nice. And you know the minute their back is turned to you, they're going, oh, good grief. But everybody relates to stories. Jesus told a lot of stories. So if you use your stories to encourage other people, and you use your stories to encourage yourself, but you also use your stories to relate to those who don't know, who are not going to pick up the Bible you give them and read past Genesis and Exodus, which are interesting and great stories, and get into Deuteronomy and, you know, just forget it. You can tell the stories. They can relate to the stories. And in this day and age where everything has to be 10 words or less and nobody's listening, the stories are short. The stories actually are interesting. And the stories can encourage dialogue with those that you know need the Lord and don't quite have him yet. So think about it. Think about your stories. Think about who you can encourage with your stories. And one more thing. You are forever hearing people say, well, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. It was just a coincidence that I was there. Friends, there's no such thing as a coincidence. Those are all God instances. Have a blessed week. Stay safe. Tell your stories.